Everyone, welcome to the Restructuring Modeling and Credit Analysis program. My name is RX, and I'm incredibly excited to present this to you all today. So, a little bit of background on myself so you all understand the perspective and experience I had in developing this content. I started my career as an investment banking analyst working in restructuring and special situations before moving to a hedge fund seat. And I recently left that seat to pursue the Pari Passu newsletter full time. I started working the newsletter in January 2023, and today we have published over 200 editions. I've also been honored to contribute 2 chapters in the leading LME practitioner textbook on LMEs. And as you probably understand by now, I really do love restructuring and credit investing and have a passion for teaching. After experiencing myself how hard it is to learn modeling and credit analysis on the job, I just knew I had to develop a strong training program for these niche skills, which I'm excited to present to you today. And as I experienced, and you probably know, there's really no great way to learn about these topics. In theory, you're supposed to learn on the job, but in practice, everyone is always too busy to teach you, and it's really hard to try and teach yourself. I created this program with this in mind to help you build a deep and flexible understanding of restructuring modeling and credit doc analysis so that you can benefit both if you're about to hit the desk or if you're also already on the job. Let's see the details about this on the next few slides. As we discussed in the previous slide, here is a detailed chapter overview. In summary, we have 3 core skills you'll learn in this course. That is the structure behind modern LMEs or the theory, how to go over a credit doc like a lawyer, and how to model advanced restructuring transactions. Let's spend a second going over each of these. So in our first chapter, we're going to be going over liability management exercises 101. At the end of the day, that is the core of this course. And to be able to understand reading credit documents, to be able to understand how to model out liability management, you of course need to understand what liability management is at first. We're going to give a very introductory overview to LMEs, some of the key definitions, and go over effectively the entire universe of what liability management looks like in the modern day, from up tiers all the way to newer transactions like Pari Plus, Extend and Exchange, sponsor down tiers. We'll end off the chapter by going over some other mechanics like cooperation agreements, disqualified lender lists, and their role in the liability management process. In chapter 2, we will then spend a lot of time on a credit spread analysis. We're going to give background on credit agreements and go through a credit spread build live. And ultimately, we'll wrap up the chapter by presenting an assignment to you, giving the credit documents you need for a company to conduct a credit spread on your own. And then in our last section of this chapter, we'll be going through that credit spread live together, physically pulling up that document and building out what the spread would look like. And then in the remaining chapters from 3 through 12, we're going to be going over 10 advanced modeling case studies. Things like amend and extends, layer cake transactions, up tiers and paydowns, all the way to things like up tiers and equitizations, pari and non-loan party transactions, unsub asset transfers, etc. Each case study is going to be broken down into 3 videos: a case study assignment, a conceptual breakdown of what the transaction that we're modeling out actually is, and then a case solution walkthrough of starting from a very blank sheet, how to build out what the transaction would look like so you're able to do it on the job or for an interview. Additionally, in chapter 13, we're going to be having a set of additional modeling lessons. These are going to be going over certain nuanced modeling topics like creating case selectors, adding in advanced sensitivities, how to model out delayed draw term loans and original issue discounts, how to model in dividend recaps and toggles, how to account for circularity in your models, and a brief overview of formatting that you would need to know for any sort of role on the job. To make this content even more meaningful, we've also been able to speak with a guest lecturer who has made the impact of this course much more meaningful. Mateo is a lawyer focused on LMEs, and I'm sure you will very much enjoy to understand how LMEs are structured from the legal angle side of things. Mateo is currently a lawyer in the liability management and special situations team at Castles, previously working at Simpsons and Thatcher and Kirkland and L. So a lot of great experience to be learned from him. So thank you very much for attending this brief info session. If you're curious to see how this program looks from the inside, you can see a class preview at the bottom of this page where you'll also see some common FAQs. I do hope this presentation was comprehensive, but again, I am here to help. I've been making restructuring and credit content for over 5 years at this point, and I'm really excited to hopefully hear how this program has helped you become better at your job. If you have any questions not addressed in the FAQ, please email me at info@restructuringcourse.com. Thanks again, everyone, and I'm really looking forward to learning together.